growth. And we have Mr. Ranjit Rath, who is CMD, MECL, DG, GSI, and Shishir Sinha, who is Senior Deputy Editor, Hindu Business Line. We are so glad to have you both on our show, sir. My first question to you, sir, what do you make of the steps announced by the, reforms announced by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today? Mr. Rath, first we'll come to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is actually a very, very laudable and commendable step.
Yeah.
Path breaking rather, and we are looking forward to a great ecosystem which is going to have a very transformative impact both in terms of economy and in terms of population, employment generation, in terms of Make in India for equipment manufacturing. It's a multifold impact.
Right, and also, Mr. Sinha, if I come to you, what do you make of these steps announced, ending the government monopoly in coal sector for a long time? We'll come back to you, sir, but coming back to you, Mr. Rath, if we talk about captive and non-captive mining difference, which is almost over, it's very clear with Finance Minister's speech. But if we give more importance to indigenous sectors, what all allied sectors will be benefited?
See, if you look at today's announcement, these are very very thought-provoking. I mean, the announcement contains that you could mine. There would be a joint auction of bauxite and coal. This is highly technical thing, like to manufacture aluminium, where power is one of the most 30% to 40% is a component to manufacture aluminium. Coal is the feedstock. So when you jointly auction it, both bauxite and coal, it's phenomenal. When it comes to distinction between captive and non-captive, you are actually removing bottlenecks and enhancing production, which is the basic requirement as of now. And then I'll take it a bit further. One of the very revolutionary thing which has happened today is incentivizing production. That means if you were shifting your line of production before, that means you will be incentivized, you will be rewarded. So everyone would look at completing the cycle and achieving or the target before.
Mr. Sinha, if you can hear us now, I was asking you, what do you make of these steps or social reforms, I should say, announced by Finance Minister today in her speech?
Before coming to the coal sector, I just want to add some points there. The first one, which is a very, very critical from the structural point of view, structural reform point of view, that an empowered group of secretaries has been set up to give faster clearance to the investment thing. And second is the land bank of almost, say, 500 acres, 500 acre kind of thing. So these two are the very, very critical from the point of view of the investment proposal. Now coming to the coal sector, of course, it is a very big development. And when you are talking about that, anyone can bid for that and then he can sell to any consumer. That is one important policy change, because earlier, if I can understand correctly, that earlier there was a restriction on the end users kind of thing, a kind of captive kind of thing. That restriction has been removed. So I think this is one of the biggest thing. And of course, 50 blocks will be auctioned. So that will give an opportunity to all the bidders who want to participate in the coal sector reform process.
Yeah, but Mr. Sinha, what I make of this aluminium sector, I think will be benefited a lot with joint auction of bauxite and coal mineral blocks. And that will also have a spin-off effect on many industries, you think?
Certainly, aluminium is just one example. That there are many other sectors where you need two different kind of minerals, and also you need coal or something like that. So the problem is that one is bidding from one particular mineral, then another one is bidding from another set of mineral, then third one is involved in the production sector. So it's a very complicated process. Now, when one particular bidder is going to bid for say bauxite, and then he's also going to bid for coal. So it will be a comprehensive package available for him, and that will help to establish the production chain. That will help him to facilitate the production chain, and that will certainly be good for entire sector. So I think this is the composite concept is very, very good in mining when two kind of minerals which they are supplementing each other. If the particular bidder is allowed to bid for both the things simultaneously, that will certainly help him.
Absolutely, very valid point made by you, Mr. Sinha. But Mr. Rath, if I come back to you once again, we have given a clear signal and clean signal to everyone that we will be Atmanirbhar.
Just to add what my co-panelists said, by virtue of this commercialization, you know what is going to happen? It's going to kind of bring in competition. It's going to kind of encourage addition of or adoption of new technologies in the mining sector. And this will kind of create an ecosystem of optimum utilization of natural resources. Plus, I would also look at the kind of incentives or opportunities which is going to be created for newer territories, coal gasification, coal liquefaction, which will actually cater to our gas economy, which will supplement and reduce our dependency on crude oil import. And further, it will actually boost Make in India in terms of mechanization of mines. So it is actually going to kind of revolutionize the entire mining sector.
Absolutely, very valid point made by you, sir. It will definitely boost Make in India. Thanks for joining us on the show. Thank you so much. Mr. Sinha, I was asking Mr. Rath also that we have given a signal to everyone that we will be Atmanirbhar, but I'll come back to you. But moving on to our next reform or social reform announced by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and talking of big ticket reforms in the aviation sector that will spur growth. The focus is on efficient airspace management for civil aviation, and which will lead to an expected reduction of flying costs to the tune of ₹1,000 crore, and bidding for 6 new airports under PPP model has also been opened, and this is out of the total of 12 new airports in the pipeline. And India to be made a global aircraft maintenance, repair and overhaul hub, and for this the tax regime for maintenance, repair and overhaul ecosystem has been rationalized. So bidding for 6 new airports in PPP model, and moving on, 12 new airports in the sector, and convergence of defense and civil sector MRO has also been